Checking the sound. Good morning, good morning. Coffee is brewing. Let's go. Good morning. Cheers, coffee drinkers. Whatever you may be drinking. All right, getting started in a second. What's up? What's up? Hit the like. Let me know you're here. What do we got? 3 minutes to the top of the hour? All right. Okay. Mr. Dean, Dow, Dilla down, Mr. Dean. Good morning, good morning. Cheers, cheers. May your coffee be hot and tasty. First order of business. London hour. 2 minutes to the close. Let's see where we end up here. So what's been going on here? You know, I don't really trade Mondays. I don't know what's going on until I get here Tuesday. At least not in the FOREX. Didn't really go anywhere last week. That's a whole week, basically, or at least since Tuesday. But yeah, Monday hit these prices. Been really going sideways, and we were looking at it last week, euro dollar here. Are we defining this as accumulation, distribution? No, it's Volume is not clear. It's actually low compared to previous. Particularly low on some days, and it's a sideways range. Not really pointing to any particular direction on the breakout. Or as far as is smart money positioning in a particular direction and all that. Let's see the Australian US here. I mean, that'll hopefully change this week. We'll get out of the price range. That's what it is. We'll see how things develop. Are we closed? The hour is closed. Are we breaking out immediately today? Yeah, that's our exact levels. The pound yen, the pound dollar. Make sure we got exact levels. Wow. No news, right? We had pound news already, done with that. Light euro news in an hour. Okay, no biggie. US CPI, PPI, CPI. Yeah, it's going to be fine. They fudge the numbers anyway. Huh. So this is rare to see after we mark up our first hour that immediately we have a break situation. Real break, fake break, unclear. We'll see what it tells us. One minute so far is showing, I mean, it's increased volume, but it's decreasing into the higher prices. Oh, not here, really. Well, we'll see. Got to give it that 5 minutes and see what's happening here. According to the rules of the trade, we got to see the 5-minute close in 3 minutes. Whether it suggests this is a real breakout or fake breakout of the first hour of London session. Pound dollar, pound yen. Now, relative to the pound, how are things? How is the pound right now? Let's see. It's kicking Australian dollars, but it's generally slowly moving up also against the euro. You see the euro's down against the pound. It's kicking Canadians' butt. Canada butt. But you know how these things go. It could be a reversal. We got to wait for the close. That's a lot of volume coming in generally with the pound pairs. Yeah. Well, it looks like you could already say, right, with 2 minutes left on this bar, that it's not low volume. Not going to be low enough for a short, for a long, rather. But a short is on the table here. It's going to be high volume because we still have a minute left. So that's going to be the highest volume since London Open, most likely. And that is plenty of volume for the short. We'll see if that confirms. Pound yen getting squashed on high volume. Pretty straightforward there. Potential short setup. All right. So if we close back in the range right here on this pound yen, technically short entry confirmed. I don't jump in immediately, but I got to get ready here. Let's see what I'm doing. Pound dollar as well? Yeah. Okay, so there's the close. Pound yen technically confirmed. Pound yen did not because we're still outside the range, and you'd have to wait another 5 minutes for that fake break to confirm. I may jump in here with something on the pound yen, looking at a stop just below hull number 161. I'll let you know if I enter. I'm just giving it a second. How much am I getting in here? Risk. In check. Okay, plenty of room on the stop, even considering that's a pound yen. Sometimes that's a little bigger. Wouldn't mind seeing this come down. I could spread it around and put some of the pound yen, some of the pound dollar. Is this a general pattern with the pound versus everything? Looking like it's going to reverse is the question. Pound CAD. Yeah. That is everywhere. Pound driven. The pound yen, I got to put something on. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm in the trade pound yen with a fairly decent sized risk, but I went a little smaller because I might put something on the pound dollar since that's so close to confirming. But I do have the pound yen short in. I am short the pound yen. Putting in my stop. As I said, right below 161, and that's plenty of room. So I'm just putting in a 30 pip stop. Get it in there right away in case anything crazy happens. So I have a 30 pip stop, and my entry was 9.4. No, sorry. That's my stop. Entry was 6.4. Okay, and the pound dollar in 3 minutes might also set up. No rush. Let's see. Are we generally looking at reversal pattern potentially in the U.S. dollar, yen? It's like everybody's looking like they're switching directions at this point in time. But I'm not rushing the pound dollar entry. Obviously, it didn't confirm. Another couple of minutes. All right. Right into the action today. What's up in the chat? Good morning. Right into the action today. Obviously, if the pound dollar confirms like all the way down here, let's say, I don't want to get in too late and too low. You know what I'm saying? The pound dollar. But still a couple of minutes to wait for that confirmation, the close. This guy, luckily we got that right back in range and I could short as soon as that bar closed. I'll probably, risk-wise, if I get the pound dollar entry, that'll be smaller position than my pound yen, because when I entered the pound yen, I still went decent size, not knowing if the pound dollar would also confirm, and I don't want to be sitting here in a small trade, and I never got my second one here, so I went decent size, so I'll be going if the pound dollar confirms in a minute. Figure out my risk, but it'll be a smaller position. That's just kind of how it goes, right? You might get two, but you might not. So you don't want to go too small on the first one and just be sitting there with a small trade. But I left a little room to put something on this as well, risk-wise, if it confirms. Just under a minute. Right into the action. I like it. So let's see. I'm kind of looking at it as one trade because they're very likely to correlate in their result. So there's confirmation on the pound dollar for the short. Considering what I'm doing here. Stop and risk. I'll let you know if I enter that. If it's moving up for the moment, I'm not missing anything. Let's see if this convinces me to go. Technically, it's confirmed. Yeah, that's pretty convincing. All right, so I'm short the pound dollar as well. That's like a third size position compared to my pound yen because of the situation I explained. Stop loss. Like I say, I want to get it in right away. If you traded Friday, it's a reminder of how quick things can go. In that case, it was in our favor, though. 84, 94. Going with a 25 pip stop. Get it in there. 25 pip stop on the pound yen, the pound dollar short. 25 pip stop, pound dollar short. Okay. That was very straightforward there. Plenty of volume up there. Check another broker just for fun. I'm sure it's confirmed there as well. There's another broker. Weakness, weakness. Highest volume since London Open. So pretty good. Pretty good. I'm short pound yen and short pound dollar. Pound dollar is a smaller position. All right. What are these guys doing? Oh, the yen. Yen's got to behave now. Come on. Let's see. Definitely don't want weak yen. You know what we got to do. Just draw the line, right? Not that line. This will push our trades along. Okay. But generally, if you notice the pound versus anything, pound-driven situation gave that weakness. Pound versus anything. So that is a pound situation. We get a little push up on the dollar. Hopefully the yen behaves. We'll be on our way. Right into it today, huh? You're saying 622? Yeah, now that I'm in this, right, let's mark up. Now that I know what direction I'm in and I'm in what is going on. One hour point of view. Well, that is a funny place to take a short on the pound dollar, isn't it? Almost resistance. Yeah, close enough. It's about the London hour levels. Okay. Yes, sir. News later today. CPI, correct. Some light Euro news in 45 minutes. CPI, PPI. Fun times. That is pretty clearly weakness by any definition. You're using volume, bar into new territory, closing off the high. The next bar closing down. Highest volume is off of that. Plus, this is sort of the magic time and the magic area. So that is a perfectly good trade. It's kind of a 10 out of 10, isn't it? And the way this got rejected. Pretty good. What's LGB? What's that? Oh. CPI, PPI, LGBT. All right. We'll let it do its thing. Come on, London Hour Trade. Work your magic. So Friday. Oh, my God. Was that Friday? Yeah. It was the pound yen long. Oh, my God. How many pips was that? I didn't even count. Holy crap. What day is this? Monday. Friday. Oh, yeah, it was this craziness. Which then pretty much reversed right after I got out. Right after. That was the long entry on this trade on Friday. And yeah, you sat through a little bit of, oh gosh, what are we doing? And then I could not believe it. How many pips did that move? What was my entry? Let's say 25. It's like 90 pips. Rounded off. It's about 90 pips in 20 minutes. 90 pips in 20 minutes off of Friday's entry on this trade. Insane. I didn't know what I was going to do after this move, so I'm like closing a little, watching it go a little further, closing a little. Okay, it's getting squashed. I'm closing a little. I just worked my way out in pieces up here and then finally locked in some at 80. For some reason, I remember that. My last piece was locked in at 80, and so I got out there. So all through here, plenty of time to get out. 10 minutes or so. Insane. We jump ahead. There we go. Let's see if it behaves today. CPI, PPI, ABC. Pound yen, don't mess around. I got a smaller position on the pound dollar. And hopefully we get a double bottom here. I'll draw the support. Maybe it'll help. So meanwhile, if you're looking at Bitcoin, cryptos in general, we are officially in reaccumulation, and that's exactly what we wanted. Reaccumulation. So we came out of here. The beast has awoken. 24. I was saying 24, 24, 24. I was saying it. It's just the chart. It's not anything special. And then we have our first little fib here. 618 overshoot. That'll tell us about buyers. And look at the buy activity in the fib. New low ground, buyers. New low ground, buyers. Where's the weakness? Where's the selling? Where's the selling? That's not so scary. Lower prices, buyers, double bottom fake break. So, by definition, this is reaccumulation. At this point in time, I'm not buying anymore, but certainly holding what I have. And just to, got to keep an eye on the pound stuff. Okay. And just to plot it out, just so you understand, right? If this is reaccumulation, this is now the reaccumulation range. What does that mean? It means smart money's buying into the retracement. There was a previous, that's what this line was. This is so obvious. Come on. So where are people going along? Where are they going along? That was my question. Where are their stops, rather? They went long chasing the move. Where are their stops? See, there's all this stuff on the chart, but it's very clear. Previous resistance turns support. And they're going to get their stops just below that, thinking they're smart, thinking they're out of the way, and we're going to go get them. That's exactly what happened. That's what I was hoping to see. Sorry if you had a stop loss here. It's terrible. Right? You're looking for a break test continuation. It sucked you in, and then bam, gets your stop. And that might be enough. Those people that sold off there and the smart money buying from them, hopefully we continue up from here. But I'm swing trading this, so patience, but it's looking strong. Where's the weakness on this whole move here? Yeah, there was some here. That's when it hit. That's about it. Something to talk about while we wait. Let's go. Let's go. As far as generally markets, US dollar, US 30, global markets, global economies, where are we right now? It's like January was really good. I was not surprised, as you know. I took some profit off a lot of my swing trades at the end of January, as I told you guys. As it was coming into February and non-farm. I think it was just a very tail end of January. And then we kind of just been ranging. If you look, raging. No, I haven't been raging. Ranging. And I'm looking at this going, what are they doing? If I don't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. Is it distribution after an up move? Is it reaccumulation? It's just a choppy range. Market is waiting to find out what the heck. I would guess it's a breakout to the upside, but it's been so sideways. You know how these things go. Maybe we go for a stop hunt down here before we move up, right? But I'm holding less than I was earlier, so at this point, because of the January move up and then the end of January. Well, this didn't move up that much in January, this particular market. But a lot of things did. Gold, silver, and a lot of the stocks I was holding. Shopify, that was a score. But really just choppy sideways range. They'll figure it out. But I'm looking to either buy low or sell high. And again, that all correlates. U.S. dollar and the dollar pair is the background, right? How it's just kind of been. Go back to our 1 hour chart. They joined the party, right? It's just this sideways stuff you can't really define by definition with volume and stuff. We have some new spazzy stuff, but pre-positioning of smart money. It's kind of like they're waiting for whatever reason. As I say, who cares why? We don't know why, everything why. But they're kind of waiting. But generally, in the other markets, I'll be looking to buy low, sell high. What else while we're sitting here? Oil. I was going to buy a bit lower. It didn't quite get there. I have this big fib here and all these, stop hunt levels and all this. to buy more oil. I talked about doing it in the lower 70s, but I didn't. I was really looking for that. So I'm holding that. Just talking about my swing positions while we're sitting here. Let you know what I'm doing. Again, gold, silver, I took off some at the end of January. That turned out to be a good move. And I have some levels here I'm looking to buy here on a reaccumulation. Again, if we dip in here on gold, silver, where did I mark up a chart? Kind of weird drawing this fib, and I don't want to draw it from there. I want to draw this whole move, I suppose. Yeah, higher highs, higher lows from there. Okay. And that kind of correlates with the rest. So yeah, as far as swing trading positions, we move down. I'll consider that. Of course, I have to see strength in these areas. But we're getting towards, right, after taking some profit January, we're getting towards where I could start buying again. Of course, I'm still holding some, but less than I was. That's the rest of the story here while we wait. I can't. It's not letting me move it. There we go. Mr. Dean, thanks for the... how are you? Bitcoin update. I'm still a little shy to get back into crypto since FTX. Yes, well, they're counting on that. The FOMO doesn't kick in until we're well into the 30s, 40. I know. I could predict the mind of everybody who still has fears. I know. I'll tell you all the rest of your whole story, Mr. Dean. Because I just trust the chart. You're not the only one. By the time it hits 35, 37, 40, then the FOMO is going to hit you. Then we'll have another big retracement after that so that people get kicked out. Don't be one of them. And so on. Very good. Thank you. Yes, I will start adding to my Binance account. They do what you're comfortable with. A little bit each week. Yeah, that's actually a sound approach. We're generally historically in very low territory, so that's fine. Once you're getting above 30, 35, you could maybe consider selling some off or whatever, Wait for a retracement again. Do we really have to test for buyers? Nah, come on. Dollar not behaving? Come on now. What are you going to do? Double bottom? Is it a valid up thrust? Which pair are you talking about? It's up thrust. It's a gotcha bar, candy bar. Supply. But what pair are you asking? GU. I guess you could call it that by definition. I call it a weakness fake break, whatever you want to call it. Selling. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not so concerned with particular names, but yeah. Selling. High volume closing middle of the bar. It's a new high ground. Bearish reaction. Whatever the software feels like calling it today, if you have that. What is that? A hidden up thrust? A reverse bag holder? Very welcome. Sorry for my silly answer. High volume again. All right, so maybe we get strength, and we see basically on the U.S. dollar accumulation and leading to the up move, giving us the down move. Bullish reaction, hopefully there. All right, so we'll let this trade do its thing. Drink some more coffee. What have we gotten here today? 19. So sitting in the pound yen short, also something small in the pound dollar short. Nothing else I would want to get into at this time also. We'll see how things develop. Still plenty of time. And of course I don't want to over risk, so I'm sitting on this for the moment. Euro's very strong right now. There's some light Euro news in 30 minutes. Let's see what that leads to.
Slice like a knife, so precise that I didn't feel it till it puddled. And one more chance would have never saved us or made it right. So when I finally found the strength to leave you, I left that night. I left that night. So say hello to all your lovers that you thought were undercut till your phone revealed them late at night. Say hello to your ex that you said was your friend. Hope that aspect was worth losing mine. Say hello to all your problems now that you have time to solve them in the corners of your mind. But say goodbye to my lips, the ones you're gonna miss as I walk off and leave you behind. Now kiss them bye-bye. Kiss them bye-bye. I had taken the abuse that you gaslit juice, thinking that in time you'd come to realize I had lost all my
Down. Pete, did you get stopped out of your use short last Thursday? Yes, I did. Because you know where my stop was. Yes. That was my only loss last week, right? Friday made up for it. Yes, sir. It did a extra fake break. It did a fake break and then a fake break. Off of the news or something. Yeah, that was tricky. And then it came down. It was like one more pump on the news. Fake break. You remove your stop before news and stayed in. As long as you're not over risking. Cool. Yeah, it was a really good clean setup. It really looked like it wanted to play out, and then it sat there, and the news hit. That one more pop and weakness came in, and then it all played out. Faith in my analysis. Okay. But certainly don't over risk. It's only probability, right? Well, very good. These guys are not behaving. Not behaving. Just got to move the line over, that's all. Easy fix. Yeah, we actually, I think, traded the fake breakout of the range of the euro dollar, and then it did another fake breakout later. The double fake break, yeah. Is that what this is going to be? Oh, behave. Man, that really got hit with weakness, and then we're back? We're just back like that? Selling again? Well, that's a rare pattern to get rejected on a big break of the level. I moved it at this point, didn't I? I don't know. But here we are again up here. Typically you get that much volume. Well, let's go to the 5 minute. Typically you get that. And that was on the pound everywhere, right? Pound did that everywhere. Euro pound, you get the where is it? Rejection. against Australian dollar, rejection against Canadian dollar. Don't play around today. Come on. No playing. You only take small positions, still learning. In the UK, we have something called spread betting. Yeah, you can trade very small positions. Cool. That's good if you're learning, yeah. If we get a leg up on these guys, dollar index, yen, that's all we need. Go back into the range and get us some profit on our shorts. Back into range of the day and give us some profit, please. Thank you. Did anyone trade the London hour trade yesterday? I did not. I think Mondays are the day I really don't want to trade it. Fridays have been fine. Definitely. I know the last 2 Fridays were wins. That was in the Discord both times. But yesterday, I think somebody said they got out at break even. And that's, yeah, sounds like a Monday thing, right? Maybe it didn't really move. Mr. Dean, yeah, you took the GJ long, but it hit high volume not long after entry, so I went BE. Okay, cool. And I don't think it really did much after that, did it? Well, until later. What was it, a short? Oh, you went long, and then you hit, and then you saw high volume weakness. That might have been the case, huh? But yeah, from, testing it since what, October? Extremely high win rate, but Mondays are questionable. Fridays have convinced me that they're fine. I even traded non-farm employment Friday. Friday before last, right? It's February 14th already, my gosh. Somebody said this month's going to go by fast. They were not lying. Come on, yen. The London hour trade, pound yen short, pound dollar short. Small position on the pound dollar. We'll see how this plays out. Manage it if need be. And see what other opportunities may pop up. Well, fake break pattern on the GU, I'll take that. Bearish pattern. Time to use the force, huh? Make that go, make that go. Especially that. Quick explanation of the Friday trade. It was pound yen long, and it was according to the rules. It was a breakout to the upside of the first hour's high and so on. Volume was about average, certainly not high. The bar closed at or near the high, which was very important to making that decision. I mean, if you know the rules, they're not that hard. Is there a particular question about that? Otherwise, I'll just be running through the rules again, but you probably know that. It was immediate, just like this one today. It was immediate. And it was one bar into the hour, the breakout. So 5 minutes after the hour bar. But if you have a particular question, but yeah, simply following the rules. 90 pips in 20 minutes or whatever it moved. Oh, yes. Proper London hour trade. Very proper. Indeed. Oh, you thought it might have been a different type of setup. Oh, okay. Right. No, it was London hour trade. Yeah. Yeah, are you in the Discord? Because I posted and we pointed it out in the London hour chat in the Discord. Yeah. So you could actually go back and check that out, too. And just see. I posted a picture of the chart. Someone else did too, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, check it out in the Discord in there. You'll see it. Let's go. Very welcome. A gift to the world, London hour trade. 90-something% win ratio for the year so far. I would exclude Mondays. Could make that an official rule, perhaps. I observe, and it's, they're just not quite as good. It's like the market needs to warm up. But it's nice to know that Fridays have been very good. You had last Friday, 90 pip move, whatever. And then you had the Friday before, which was, if I'm not mistaken and getting things mixed up, it was non-farm, right? Big News Friday, U.S. And I got into the London hour trade, took some profit, stopped a break even, by still in it, going into U.S. session. And then the news move carries the trade further. Non-farm. I was in the trade. I never trade that. But the London hour trade got me in it with stop and break even. News comes out and carries the trade further. It's like, come on already with this trade. It's too good. freaking profiting off non-farm. I mean, it positioned, 5 hours before or whatever. That's insane. Who did that? What trade setup did that? It's fucking crazy, man. Mr. Dean. The last live sessions have all been really informative. Good. I rewatched every single one of them. Nice. As I drive a long way to work and watch them. Yeah. And that's why I should stay on topic and not ramble about things. Because people like, it's definitely when you're driving is a good, to really probably pass the time. Right. And really you're able to focus and listen. Yeah. So I'll try not to ramble too much, just skip and keep your eyes on the road. I know, Wixie. I messaged Wixie. I said, how are you? I hope everything's all right. Haven't heard back. Oh, let me check. I messaged him a few days ago. No, he hasn't written back. Come on, Wixie. Come on back. Is this trade going to behave today? These guys are not playing along nicely. How's the pound doing relative to the rest? Well, the euro's strong, so pound's certainly weaker than that. Australian dollar is kind of sideways, huh? UJ is chop chop as the dollar and the yen are similar to each other. Yep, hopefully. Mr. Dow, yes, ask away. All right, what is this thing doing? Where's my stop? You're not allowed to give us losses, London Hour. You're not allowed. We're like, 80%? No. 90%? No, not good enough. No losses, London Hour trade. Getting spoiled out here. No, but really. For an AR level, if the first level of resistance after strength is within the bar where strength is seen, is that a valid level? No, I don't consider that valid. I mean, if you have a really wide bar, kind of, but technically the answer is no, as you probably would guess. Or does it have to be the first level of resistance? Yeah, you have to get out of that range to really consider, because the logic is, let's say this is weakness here, and you want to set up a support, right? Well, we have that there. Automatic support is technically that. And because if we're talking about, so yes, good technical question. Make sure it's clear on that. From what I see, and logically, yeah, it has to move out of the range of this weakness or strength bar to actually tell you and get in some new levels above that or below that. And if you look at the, where I got it from the Wyckoff stuff, I would think every model, every phases template shows that moving away from the area of that low or high bar. Yeah. So that's the original source of it. Yeah. I'll be back in a second. All right. Well, we get so used to this trade just working every time. You almost don't think about, obviously you put your stop loss, but it's like you stop thinking about it going against you. Let's see. Just a probabilities game. So far it's 90-something probability. Stop is at 93. Ooh, that's kind of close. What is that, a 30 pip stop? What I could do is maybe close half of it if it hits 93. Because I don't want to get caught on another fake break. But at the same time, I don't want to over risk. I'd probably want to at least close some at 93. What is this guy doing? Behave. Pound dollar is a smaller position. I'm not worried about that too much. Huh. Let's see. I'm going to look to manage this manually here. What are we at now? 90? Okay. So I'm giving it a chance for a fake break. If it pops up a few pips up from here, I will look to close manually. Maybe half the position at first. See if I could squeak out a break-even situation or something. But, of course, I'm just not going to let it like run back on me, so I got to do something. Let's see. So at least I have my window open to close a little less than half my position if we go a little higher than this. So basically allowing for this one last fake break, maybe. I hear the cats outside. Yeah, low volume closing near the high here. So again, once we get into 93 area, which we're pretty close, maybe we'll get a fake break and that's fine. If we go any higher, now that we got their close outside of range, I'll start trimming down the position to manage the risk. Hey, it's only probability. We got to deal with this eventually, right? Like going to the dentist. All right, well, I'm out of the GU. That was a small position. Oh, why did it close this window? I'm trying to manage this. Okay. All right, I'm going to See, unless we get squashed down here, I'm closing half of the position right now. Let's see. Wow. I'll probably just give it this bar unless it keeps going. Everything was looking so clean, too. Is it? Yeah, that yen dropping. Wow. Huh. Like the weakness hit everywhere on all the pound pairs, but with the pound being weak, but then the yen just wants to be weaker. Yeah, this bar isn't being nice. All right, I'm closing half of the position. Keep risk in check. It's only one trade. So I did that. Closed half my position on the pound yen. Pound dollar, I'm already out. See what I'm dealing with risk. Well, I have a much smaller position, but let's see where I want to, like, give me the point of no return. Yeah, it's kind of getting there, isn't it? A wide bar up here, really? After this happened? My goodness. Well, last hope is this gets squashed and high volume weakness is coming in. Otherwise, I'm out. I only have half the position on. Not behaving today. Wow. It's a lot of volume, but we're not seeing it come down. Yeah, at this point, if it goes above the high of this bar, I'm going to close the rest. Unusual pattern there. Yeah, right at my line there. That's where I'm looking to close it. If you see the line. As soon as it hits that, that's just new high ground on the bar. High volume leading to higher prices. So that's really high volume there. Didn't close down, but that's really high volume. So it could come in as weakness, come down, and somehow salvage the situation. If it gets above this bar, then yeah, I'll just close the rest. I got my window open to close the rest if it breaks the high there. But it could be coming in as weakness originally there, and then really high volume here, rejecting. And actually salvage the situation. I may get a chance just to get out at break even or whatever it says it wants to do. But at this point, now that that closed, yeah, anything above that, I'm just going to get out. That's a lot of volume into new high ground, so I'm just giving it that chance to maybe come in as weakness, salvage the situation. But if the result of that higher volume is higher prices, then I'm absolutely just going to close it. So that is a clear-cut decision there. And again, I closed half here. So risk is in check at whatever that was, 95 or something. 98, I don't know. Not behaving. Okay, so I'm out. Out of the trade. What's the damage? I'll live. I lost half of what I made on Friday. I can live with that. Man. Haven't seen this this year yet. This sort of misbehaving action. Yeah, it's really the yen just dropping after we saw weakness on the pound versus everything. Weakness, weakness, weakness. But then the yen went and got weaker. So relatively the pound moved up. So risk in check. Just one trade. I'm out of that. Pay the toll. The toll of probabilities. Watch it come down now. Weakness. We did have pound news earlier. I don't know if that affects this particular setup. I don't know. Something to observe about it. You know, they've been win-win-wins. And, you know, is there anything different today? I don't know. Maybe as any sort of high-impact pound news is maybe something to avoid generally. As a general rule. Okay. Gotta live with it. You gotta live with it. For me, I'm looking at the amount because my full position on the pound yen went frickin' 70, 80 pips or something before I started closing it all on Friday. So I gave back half of Friday's win. I could totally live with that. And my point is risk and check. No regrets, right? You risk what you're willing to lose. Last week I wasn't up very much going into Friday. And then bam, like to finish it like that. Okay. I can live with that. No regrets. Risk and check. Oh, then you got to consider the pound dollar. So, okay, a little more than half. Still showing weakness. Let's see how things sort of play out from here. And get generally what's happening at this point. The yen went and said, I don't care about anything else. I want to be weak. Still look like it wants to go. I mean, if the yen pairs are trending up and don't have an issue with high volume at high prices, which is not the case, you can go with this momentum and potentially look for the long entry if that sets up properly. But I wouldn't want to do that with this high volume here. So you see the selling into the up moves a couple of times. But it doesn't want to turn off of that. So it's not something I would want to short unless properly stops on the weakness. That's twice that it's not. Well, that's kind of unusual. Unusual behavior. That's all right, though. No regrets. It was a good setup. I would take it every time. If I get the same setup tomorrow, I'm taking the same, It's only probability. So I'll let things figure themselves out for a minute here. Moving up, hitting high volume. Not quite rejecting, though. Yep. Well, I'm glad I'm out of that shit. Odd behavior. You don't see that every day. Weakness coming in. And it just wants to keep going. Did it move up on the Euro news? Yeah, it's listed as light impact, but that's the time of day where we had the Euro news. You see the increase in activity. Makes a little more sense that it's on Euro news, even though it's light, but there was that. 13 minutes ago, right on that bar that popped up. Well, it's got to happen sooner or later, right? Pay the toll. There's really one proper loss since we've been for January. Since I've really been keeping track out of the testing phase into the actually trading it phase. That's the first proper loss in what, 4 weeks, 6 weeks? On this particular setup. See what we're dealing with up here. Oh, is this? Oh, last week. Oh, well, maybe you traded that. That was something to look for. What was that, Friday? It was on news. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. It's kind of late. Oh, that's the weekend, so yeah. Well, if this actually turns into a more healthy up move that's not showing weakness, why don't we just get rid of all this? Then you got to go with the momentum of it, but we are seeing weakness. And we could end up with a big old fake break here. Lots of volume is still selling into these up moves. You see the next move off of this. I mean, either it's going to continue up on some regular volume, and we'll say, okay, we just have normal bullishness going on, or this stuff is going to be a top, come back, test for demand, not see any, and maybe come down. So just trading normally, looking for a proper setup at this point. Yeah, that Euro news didn't help. That's when it popped up. But what are you going to do about that? Not much. And now we got 3 hours till CPI. Okay. Very well could be the high of the day, right? On a fake break on the pound yen. With all that volume. Let's see what happens. Now, it's not the London hour trade anymore. This is different, so I'd be looking for lack of demand after confirming weakness. No rush on things. What's up with the euro? And what is the dollar doing? Choppy, choppy. But the euro started out strong today. Now you have this high volume rejection here and maybe a lack of demand on the test there. This is an obvious test area. Resistance, support, support, 14 EMA. But I wouldn't want to be buying these moves. I wouldn't want to be chasing them, particularly because obviously the volume is high up there. And there is selling coming in. That, again, it could resolve itself by continuing up on regular volume. Or it could suggest the down move, the reversal off of weakness, no demand. Well, that's the situation. Let's see what it tells us. Really a clear-cut pattern here again with the euro dollar. This is previous resistance all the way back here as well. Let me tighten that up. Okay, that's that. But this was the high here. Break test continuation looks bullish, but then it got sold into. This is the euro news. That's the thing about it. But we see it get sold into. We see the result. And then if there's lack of demand, low volume here, and coming back into range, it's likely coming down. Let's see if this guy as well can get above, dollar index can get above 14 EMA, start moving up. Yeah, euro's moving down against the pound now in the last 20 minutes. Kind of flipped. And test for demand, test for buyers here. Let's see what we get. I mean, technically, you can also call. You can already. That's the word I want. You can already call that the test 14 EMA, support resistance, and lack of demand, low volume. Check another broker. Same deal, very clearly. No demand there. Certainly have to watch out for that. Ideally, we're below this. Because the fake break of that as well. If we get just below that, and we're talking about this level, which was just a little swing high there. So ideally, it's that 51, 52 that gets reached to get that fake break pattern back there. If I want to wait that long to get in that low. We'll see. If this closes down, or very soon we close down, we'll continue to see low volume here on the test if we sit here. But if we close down at or near the low of the bar into here, no high volume, no price rejection, it's likely going to try to move down. But there is that old resistance turn support. But man, there's weakness all over this stuff. Can close. Let's see. This bar is going to close soon. Solidly below the 14 EMA, and maybe even right into this below the high. Oh, close. But this is a very obvious area to tell us about buyers, and if we were trending up to see this break test continuation pattern, 14 EMA test. So the buyers are not showing up so far. So I'm still considering that if we can get through there properly. $20 stop or so. Is everybody looking weak now? US dollar is trying. It's trying. There we go. That is not a bad looking setup at all there. Confirming the no demand. See if we get a acceptance of this price so far. Yeah. No, I don't have to wait for the 5-minute close in this case. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the position on now before I miss my price. So I put the euro dollar short in. Immediately when it came below, so I'm in the euro dollar short. Immediately when it came below the no demand, I could enter And, if you're waiting for the 5-minute to close, you could really miss it. So there's that. So I got the short on the euro dollar here. Stop loss, again, allowing for a fake break. Uh, 75 is plenty of room. Plenty. All right, 23 pips stop. Euro dollar short, 23 pips stop. Weakness, no demand. Fake breakout. Double top fake break pattern. There we go. Let's see what we get on this. If we get to fib, we can get a read on buy activity. Any issue with that, it can move stop to break even. And then once we get to, if you look at where the weakness occurred, right here, here, getting below that, it's like just beginning to play out, so to speak, because we're talking about positions coming in short here. So we should hopefully have no problem getting through this fib area, 618, which really points to the support as a good first target area. See what goes on there, if strength shows up or what. So let's just get that. Down to that 28 level, at least. But yeah, you see it. This is London open volume there. So since then, we have the weakness, and then the break test continuation pattern is not happening. It's a fake break, bearish pattern, along with the lack of demand there. Pretty textbook. Just looking at the other dollar pairs, the AU is just not doing very much. It's very choppy. It's similar pattern though, with weakness, right? Weakness, but it's choppy pattern. So that's why I'm picking that. And then you have the pound, which didn't have quite as convincing weakness. It did earlier though, right? But they're likely to correlate, but that's the reason why I took the euro dollar. That was the cleanest situation there. So let's see, we get our weak euro plus US dollar strength to get this thing going. Is that a recent question? Do you think smart money waiting at yesterday's high on which pair? Oh, Mr. Dean. Which pair are you asking about? Yesterday's high. Pound yen. Well, I wouldn't short that. Yesterday's high. Well, pound yen is the only one dealing with being above yesterday's high like that, so I suppose, but the yen is weak. The dollar is something better to sell against. No setup there, I would take. Definitely not.
Suppose we just look into things a little further, a little further, a little further. What's the cause of this tension anyway? Tension. What's the cause?
One day, chilling with my space brothers, I traveled through a wormhole. Appear, reappear, the stone builder, gate of the gods. Strike with that pose. Coke in an ocean, wanna be a model. What? Because she thought you gotta be thin. A little thick person, that's what dude told her. Many levels on the come up. The world could be rude and crude. Just seen no homegirl throw up. You won't regret I took steps in '88. I'm straight, a barrel click, a signature sound. You see them jakes. Just as hungry as mates, we all in here. A divided group, you can feel it here. 7 monks amongst creatures that took the night. Only one can explain the details, dark lights. Behave yourself. You're caught up in the junkyard. Your peace robber, man, my mellow.
What's the
I'm
cause?
just another modern day warrior. A system breakdown. Your government ignoring ya. I'm just another motherfucking yes man. Shit's out of control, fam. I'm just another modern day warrior. A system breakdown. Your government ignoring ya. I'm just another motherfucking yes man. Shit's out of control, fam.
This reaction is brought forth by any situation which hinders free movement. What's the cause?
A 100% American. And abundant for all.
What's the cause?
Made in the USA. America is busy now.
What happened to the music? So the Eurodollar short looking just fine. Be nice if it behaves. It would be nice of you, Eurodollar. Mr. Dean, where'd you go? Okay, so far so good. Behaving. Pretty textbook setup there. Next checkpoint, obviously too soon to be a target area, but we want to see a little information about buy activity. See them not active here. Maybe we can get through it. In the zone. What level is that? Okay, that's the high. Resistance turn support is in there. 50 EMA, 5618. We just want to not see any large strength. If we're down here, we're getting some strength coming in. I can always move my stop to break even. Quite clean. Hopefully things behave. Those yen pairs, well, the euro, yeah, the euro's looking weak. Compared to the pound where it just kind of sat here on medium volume. I'd rather see weakness there to consider this a good short situation. So I'm glad I'm out of that and just into something good. Moving on. Nice clean setup. This guy, keep going, keep going.
Shut your fucking mouth, I'll give you what you came to say. Play my face, I'll play the villain, put the blame on me. Now fake out, now sleep on, now fuck love, now talk the other
Oh, was this news here before? Yeah, 6 a.m. 19 minutes light impact news. U.S. news at 6 a.m., huh? Okay, not much to do at the moment. Sitting in the euro dollar short. We could stay below here and keep our fake break pattern intact. That would be nice and make sense. Stay below our failed resistance break. Stay below it. A little protection. Otherwise, the pattern is going to get very sloppy. We really should stay below there. Selling in the background. Lack of demand. So, letting it do its thing. Not much else to do at the moment. I don't trust the pound yen to come down still. You can see the euro even looks a bit weak against that. All right. Here, not much to do at this point. Got the euro dollar on, sitting around break even. Wouldn't want to get into another dollar-based trade at all here anyway. AU is very choppy too. Yeah, nothing to do at this point. Patience, patience. But with the euro dollar short, like I said, the old resistance, breaking it and coming back, it acts as resistance again. It's basically a support resistance level generally. And it is seeming to help and keep things down. If we do get back above that, I could just close it. My stop is just, initially put in as a protective measure. It doesn't mean I have to close it there. I just have to consider risk and what I want to do. But I could close it, up into here, 60-ish, and just say the pattern is failing and keep it small as far as a loss. And whatever the heck this market wants to do today, let it figure itself out for a bit. Because again, that's a very clean pattern. The London hour trade was very clean. I'm not, lowering standards or anything. So just thinking out loud, if this thing pops up, gets above here, really accept this level, I don't think I'm going to let it run to the stop and have to deal with all that. I'll probably just close it. Say, again, the pattern, it's all there. Break test continuation of the automatic support. It's time for the continuation, right? Double top fake break, weakness, no demand. Breaking the support resistance, coming back to test it, and continuing. That is the pattern. It looks like it wants to do it, right? The uptrend hit the weakness. It's starting to turn. Lower swing. Let's go. Was light impact news in 6 minutes? I don't know if that was there before. But yeah. U.S. News, 6 a.m. New York time. Weird. Mr. Dow, is that technically a no demand? Where? As the volume is not lower than the previous two bars. Volume not. I don't know which bar you're asking about. This was the one that I identified as. First of all, lower than previous two is like for programming software. For a long time, I've been saying the lower the better. You get a read on the activity in the market, the lower the better. Technically here, this is lower than previous two where I was looking for it. Check another broker. Lower than previous two there. And that's the one I needed to confirm there. Talking about the up bar after that? This? Oh, no. By going below the no demand is by a lot of definitions an entry. By a lot of people's definitions. The entry is here. As soon as you get below it. But I gave it a little time to show me that it could stay in this price area, and I got in just before this bar actually closed. So by this point, I'm in. I was already in. You also have to think about this is a random spot. This is where you test for demand. This is another area to test for demand. So random spots kind of choppy, and then all of a sudden just saying it's a no demand in the middle of chop, you know, that's applying too much to something, you know, it's where we're going to look for buyers. In this case, break test continuation, support resistance. But then I was entering before this closed, right? So that was after. I mean, at this point, it's just going sideways. It's not doing anything. It is what it is. Yeah, range. And now the news is in 1 minute. Oh, behave today. All right, cool. Well, there's some light impact news coming up in a few seconds. I have my stop in place as an emergency measure at whatever that was, 23 pips. But I could close it sooner. I could do whatever, limit risk. I'm not going to look back and regret a small loss on this if I just close it on news. You know, no regrets. It's light impact, so who knows if it even does anything.
But Dr. Laird, can people do anything to avoid tension? Yes. Well, that's good news.
Just kind of went sideways. Maybe it was waiting for that light impact news and we can get going. Maybe.
Tell people more about the advantages of our products. Our advertisements are appearing everywhere. And that cannot continue long. That's one of the things I guess we'll have to be without for a little while longer. Going to be awfully hard on them and their families. I hate to break the news. I told you so. You know, I'm
Mr. OJ Sims. Yes, of course. Still swing trading oil. Yep. I was gonna buy in the last dip. I didn't do it for whatever reason. It wasn't there very long. I was kind of looking for maybe a bit lower, so I'm holding what I'm holding. Lower 70s, upper 60s. If there's strength in there, I'll consider buying there. Otherwise, yeah, just holding.
It had hit like a ton, like a loaded gun, waited in denial. It had sliced like a knife, so precise that I didn't feel it till it puddled. And one more chance.
I was gonna say, we'll see if it was waiting for news or it just wants to be quiet. It just wants to be quiet. Come on. Everything was going so nicely. Just went to sleep. But I highlighted the weakness and then the no demand, and they're not at random levels. Support resistance 14 EMA on the test. Mr. Carbon. Do I have an exit price targeted? No, not particularly, but if it starts moving up, I'll tell you what I would be looking for. Really, really simple stuff. What do I want to use? Yeah. This is where I position from here and here. So I'm slightly in profit. A little bit of profit. Last time I checked. Not much at all. So I want to see it get above here and see what's going on. This is not any sort of target area at all. Really. I mean, if I see high volume weakness, that's another story, but I like the big fibs. That gives me an area. Close to 100 would be nice to get up there and see weak. But again, it's like up moves and weakness wherever that may appear. It could be over 100. Who knows? And, selling off in pieces as I see higher prices and weakness. But really getting above 82, 83, and really clearing that, getting into the 90s before I would consider selling any. And again, buying would have to be down here. It didn't quite get there. It was close. That's why I didn't buy. It was close. So I want to see it get into here and show strength, right? To buy, get into here to show weakness to sell. And not all of it, unless I see really climactic big stuff, which happened back here when I sold all of it. So that kind of stuff, yeah. But, simple levels combined with high volume weakness coming in. Just the amount you want to take off. So it's really simple, as you can see. Like, once you see, it's not hard to figure out what I'm doing with everything. Fibs, support resistance, volume. Gold, silver, also I'm waiting for lower prices. I sold some off a couple weeks ago. Waiting for lower prices to buy or higher prices to sell. Like really new high ground to sell. So whatever comes first and see the volume and what levels. Yeah. Very simple. This guy I'm really hoping for the breakout. Let's get up to 3.6, 3.8, 3.9. And then maybe hit weakness. I don't know. I'm kind of loaded up pretty good here. Or something that correlates with this. So pretty much the same. Is this euro dollar going to behave or what now? Choppy. Come on. Messing around. Mr. Earcom. Corn? Com. Hi. Am I in a trend? I hope so. I hope it's a downtrend. I got weakness, weakness, no demand. But yeah, I mean, I can deal with a break test continuation. I can deal with a range. But if it's going to start to push up through here, I could just get out. Pattern failing. You see how it's like, this is similar to the last Euro. Freaking doing this pattern now. Behave. If we break above here, you know, what am I going to do? Hang on to it? Maybe, maybe not. Trade, yes. Yep, there it is. Nice weak pattern on the EJ as well. Come on, Euro. It's time to come down. You're done with news, right? You see the double top, fake break, weak. Against the yen. Time for the Euro to come down. Behave. Yo, Carb. What you doing? You got a few hours to kill? Carbonate.
The best thing we can do is mind our own business, let the rest of the world go hang. What's the matter with you?
No cause, just protection. Things got worse. No side effects can heal stress hurts. No suggestions always first. But when that drive is to kill you, brother, stay alert. Only numbers, digits,
Very slow, huh?
the magic system, some say we doomed. Others wait for some fate to get struck with some old light to fight on your night. See you now. What a fucking feeling.
Everything's gone sideways. Yen pairs, I don't see any entry on that uptrend at this point in time. And the dollar pairs have gone kind of dead. So nothing else to do. I'm keeping an eye on this. If it pops up, I'll consider how I want to manage it. If it moves in any direction, do something. What a pain in the butt. Now the pattern is breaking down. Man, so textbook. I don't feel like letting this hit the 23 pip stop. I don't feel like doing that. I could close it just above here at minus 12 pips. I'm just thinking about what I'm willing to deal with as far as the loss. I could keep it small. Pattern was ripe. Doesn't want to behave. Weakness means nothing today, huh? The pound, the euro, yeah, weakness my ass. It doesn't matter, does it? This guy was looking so good on the fake break. Wow. It's just probability, but it's high probability. It's just not doing it. But, I mean, there's the 23 pip stop, and then there's just the idea, again, that this break test continuation is failing. And just to limit my loss, keep it small. And that's the other option. That kind of day, I might just leave it after this. Cut this one small and back at it tomorrow. Make sure you're watching it. Nero, they're outplaying you unless you actually bought an acting that you make. Yo, long time no see. My gosh, you're alive. You lurk? Oh, you've been around, huh? Don't lurk. You say hello. How's it going over there in Winterland? Still making car videos? Sun started to shine again after 100 days of darkness. God, that's depressing. Hurting your eyes. Good, get some sun. Soak it in. Get the vitamin D. That's rough. Yeah, you should get out there. Wear some shades. Get the D. Oh my God. That's Nero. Okay. Yeah, if we go a little higher, because we're looking at the 618 overshoot, I'm going to cut it. Keep it small. I'm not dealing with the 23 pip stop. Kiss my ass. Either we get a 618 overshoot, keeps us in it, or that's it. What was the entry? $52. 12 pips would be here. Yeah, I can deal with that. So we haven't dealt with very many losses, but here's a case where I put in the 23 pip stop. And like I say, I just put it in to get it in, and then I can manage it. That's worst case scenario if it shoots up like crazy and you got no time for anything. But it all depends on in context and what's going on and all that. And again, here seeing a pattern breakdown and then seeing the 618 overshoot maybe not even work. Then it's going to go for the high, try to break the high. No point in, I don't want to deal with that. Draw down, hoping that it comes down. If it breaks through here, it's probably going to, try to break the high. And then you're just hoping for a double top fake break and you're down 20 pips. I'd rather skip that. So it's all or nothing. Let's go, Eurodollar. At least for me. But normally that's more often I would allow for another fake break to the upside before getting out. Just want to limit this if it's not working. Six five is like 12 and a half pips. So I'm going to move my stop to 107.65 so it doesn't fly up and then not even able to do it. 107.65. That by that point, it's really telling me the high is probably going to get tested and just above it. Am I out? No, I'm not out. Nothing particularly wrong happened with the setup. It's just probability. Seen weakness not matter today. Yeah, okay, I'm out. Was that 12 and a half pips? Yeah, I'll take it. That's fine. My goodness. Weakness doesn't matter. Pound as well, didn't matter. So I would let things kind of figure themselves out. Wait till U.S. news, see what the hell's going on at that point. But yeah, I'm not going to let this run back. I'll take the 12 and a half pip loss. I'll live with that. And just that's enough for today. Well, I'll see maybe what goes on in the U.S. session. Patience is key, low key. Also, limiting your risk is also key when it doesn't work out. Daily chart, 2 fib zones fighting. Is it? Yeah, but in the smaller picture, the imbalance was clear. I mean, I wouldn't have forced anything, and a lot of you know this setup and have taken these setups. This should at least, have the high probability of coming to this support. But it's too messy now. I don't want to deal with a whole loss on that. If it was looking good, I'd stay in it. So yeah, I'll let the charts kind of do their thing, see what's going on, let it make some more sense before I do anything. So I'll end it now. Stonks just only go up, right? When I said I was out, it kind of moved. I'll see what it looks like after news. I'll probably take a break until after that. It's in 2 hours, yeah. All right. So back at it tomorrow. If you're in the Eurodollar short, think if it's not behaving, like I always say, oh yeah, well now it's popping down. If it continues up, especially if you're not seeing weakness, like I say, you're not going to regret the small losses, whatever. It's kind of losing the pattern. You could even scale it down. If you entered with me, now you're only down like 5 pips or something. So you could even scale it down, just listening to the chart that it's getting kind of sloppy. Limit the risk, limit the risk. It's not behaving. All right, back at it tomorrow. Nero, maybe you show up earlier. Or at least say hi if you do. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.